live. Yeah. Supplies. Supplies. Yes, surprise, surprise, surprise. I can't put my leg up there. I tried to do it once and got a cramp, and then I cracked myself up. Surprise, surprise. That guy with the leg was wicked funny. Okay. So, hey, spreading sunshine. Nice to see you. Long time no see, right? Some people knew I was going to be on TikTok. Other people, it's just a surprise. A surprise, excuse me. It's like my husband and I used to joke with ourselves, calling a quesadilla a quesadilla. And then I said it once out loud in public because I was used to saying it out loud in private. It was kind of funny. So, Ocean Anna, thank you for the little sunflowers. I love that. Sunflowers are one of my favorite flowers. Very cool. So, yes, this may be a surprise to many of you. There we go. Kristen Bedard says, I finished my taxes yesterday, which means I now have the headspace for massive decluttering. All right, Kristen, let me help you with that. Massive decluttering happens over a large amount of time, so it's just chunk down the declutter. I don't want you to be like, I'm going to massively declutter and then run out of gas, okay? So just yay for the finishing of the taxes and then make a plan. So you can get the decluttering done, but it doesn't have to all to be done at once, okay? Because it can't be all done at once. You will run out of gas. You need time to refill your tanks, to recharge, you know? Yay, Nana Joe, nice to see you. Oh, Rachel Travel and Points. I love Travel and Points, so nice to see you. First time here, been decluttering. I guess TikTok knew I needed this. I love it. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Rachel. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching here on TikTok, on the internet, on YouTube, where I just came from, is Destination Decluttered. See, you're a travel person, so you know what it's like to have a travel destination you're excited to do, right? When you get there, when you're excited to go someplace, you will do things you normally would not do if you were less enthused about your destination. Am I right? I am a perfect example of that. Because here's a fun thing. Think about this. Okay, so Rachel is a travel-y person. Oh, and you'll appreciate this too. I keep on doing this. It means like, oh, I got something good to tell you. Is points. So we may have used too many points, but we have points that we can use. So it felt good to do this. So talk about a destination. So people here who know me know that Palm Springs, California is one of my many happy places. I had the opportunity to go there, and I'm leaving tomorrow morning. Now, when I say tomorrow morning is any time between noon and, at 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. We are leaving at an ungodly hour, but we are going to be flying first class because of points to Palm Springs. Now, do I normally get up at 2:30 in the morning to take a shower and then drive to the airport? No. But if there's first class flight and Palm Springs at the end of it, you bet your sweet bippy I will do the things I normally don't do. And I will do it with joy in my heart because I'm psyched about the destination. So that is why I call my decluttering Destination Decluttered. Because I want you to think of, instead of decluttering being a chore and, oh my God, this is such a pain in the ass and I've always hated this and it's, shh. You know those dogs you see on TikTok? Wicked funny. Shh, quiet down, pup. Right? What I want to say is, what's in it for you? How can you make why you're doing your decluttering be something that you get something out of? There we go. Now, I love this. Okay, so that's what I do. I do have, and just really quickly, and again, for the new people, and I'll probably repeat this because this is a pop-up TikTok Live. Usually I schedule them, and usually the people that know the schedule are the people on my mailing list because they have access to a secret hidden page on my website that has all sorts of info about when I show up on TikTok and YouTube. I do these lives typically for an hour. So like where I am, I'm in Pennsylvania. It's 9:05 Eastern where I am, and I do a live for an hour. So I share this information with you so you can look at your schedule to see if you want to hang out with me and how long I'll be here. It's all up to you. I also want to offer that if you sign up for my mailing list, which is completely free and I don't sell you anything, I do have one-on-one coaching that I do that's a paid coaching, but I don't even have room on my consultation calendar right now for people, so I'm not going to sell you anything. What I will share with you is a bunch of free resources, though. So if you're interested in that, destinationdecluttered.com is my website, and signing up for my mailing list is seriously so much better than following me here on TikTok. Okay? Just want to share that. But it's all up to you. Okay, yay, Kristen, for doing the decluttering for about a year. Awesome. Yay, Cat Mama. Nice to see you. Hopping over from, like, Little Rabbit Foo-Foo hopping through the forest from YouTube, which is so funny. The YouTube schedule, the calendar, the YouTube thing is still up on my screen there. I'm going to shut it down. Shut it. Nana Joe, going tomorrow for 3 days with grandkids to Scranton, PA. I have been there. The aquarium, the coal mine tour, the Lackawanna coal mine tour. I have been there. Man, that will be a sobering trip for if you're bringing kiddos, to realize they could have been that little kid in the mine holding up the light, taking care of the little donkeys and stuff. It is really thinking of how quickly our lives have improved from all of us working in the coal mines, right? Bring a sweater. It's going to be cold underneath there, okay? Good morning, Joy. Thank you for bringing joy. Fancy like Applebee's. Yes. Libby's. I love it. Oceanana Louise was on my previous YouTube live. And then she knew I was going to be here. Now, Louise did a bunch of stuff. She checked things off of her list as we were working together. And now she says, okay, refueling. Yeah. She did some things. Doing things will expend energy. Like driving on a road trip will make the car gauge go down, the gas gauge go down. She is now pulled over with her feet up. Yay. Yay for getting, what do you call that? Like, not stress. Like, hold on. When your legs get puffy, swollen legs, draining your legs. Feet up, enjoying a hot cup of tea. Well, my feet are down and my tea is kind of lukewarm, but Oceanana, cheers. There we go. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Leslie. Yeah. And Leslie's encouraging. Leslie with an S, not Leslie with a Z. Anne says, I need someone to be physically with me as I clean or something. Here we are, Anne. It's the power of the modern world. This is the modern world. Right? It doesn't have to be somebody physically there to give that same energy of what my ADHD folks say, and there are a lot of them, body doubling. Okay? So here we are, Anne. Helping you. Painting of a duck. Nice to see you. Abbott Elementary. This is really alive. Here, I'll hold up the piece of paper that says, what is it? Wednesday, April 16th at 9:09 a.m. Yeah. I only go live on TikTok. I do not do any more recorded videos because I don't trust it as a platform. Okay, so Abbott Elementary, nice to see you. And check me out. I'm going to be packing for a trip this afternoon. Damn it, Donna, nice to see you. Therapy Gal Sue, nice to see you as well. Love the support and looking forward to this weekend's party to clear a closet. Yeah, for those of you, again, who haven't met me, my name is Beth. Destination Decluttered is my business name, I guess. I'm a decluttering life coach, and one of the things I offer to folks is I do decluttering parties. So much like Anne just said, Anne with an E said, it helps her. It makes it easier for her to declutter when there are people around. That's what a decluttering party is. How that works is you sign up for the mailing list, you get an invite, you accept the invite, you pay for the ticket. When you pay for the ticket, you get a Zoom invite, and we all show up on a specific day of the week, at a specific time of day, for a specific amount of time. Very specific, very chunked down. And you decide what you want to work on because you're in your house. I'm in my house. Actually, this weekend I will be in somebody else's house. So I'll be, puttering around and doing my own stuff that I brought with me. But having that camaraderie, not feeling like you're doing it alone, and also having me there so if you get stuck, you can be like, hey, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do next. And I can help you kind of get out of the mud on the side of the road. So that's what a decluttering party is. We've got 2 of them coming up this weekend. Saturday the 19th, 9 a.m. Eastern, noon Eastern, for about an hour and a half, both times. If that sounds interesting to you, you're just even curious about it, I love curiosity. Sign up for the mailing list at destinationdecluttered.com, and all will be revealed. Ooh, you're decluttering about 6 vintage jewelry boxes today. So funny, there was a word I mispronounced. It was like am I adding an extra syllable? Oh, or am I swallowing a syllable? You know who it was? It was Adam Scott from Severance. And he said, you know what was interesting? And I realized I was saying interesting. Interesting. It was like a little contraction. I say interesting. And he said interesting. And I say interesting. Interesting, isn't it? Or just random. You decide. All right. Oh, all sorts of stuff. So there we go. Yay. Abbott Elementary, I messed up with your schedule. No big deal. Just so you know, Abbott Elementary, I know that next week and the next 10 days might be confusing for me. So I made a number of changes to the schedule, just minor ones that you will see on the schedule about when the YouTube lives are next week and when the decluttering party is. First of all, I put a palm tree next to the entry on the schedule page to remind you and me that I'm in Palm Springs. See what I did there? The other thing, too, is I also made sure that we all knew that it was like 11 a.m. Eastern time. So even if it's Eastern, even though I'm going to be showing up at whatever, 8 a.m. Western time, Eastern, Western Mountain and Pacific. Anyhow, so just know that I have the schedule should be as clear as I can make it. All right. The best way to sign up for the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Yes, German made. 2 hours of Beth. What a treat. What a treat. Yeah. There we go. Nana Joe cleaned the stovetop, microwaved, and counters during the YouTube live. Yeah. There we go. Clearing a closet. Jewelry. That's how I got started on that. Having a coffee break. Then going to do the floors. Yes. Taking breaks is important. You can decide whether some of our time today is spent together kicking your feet up and scrolling, or watching and just relaxing, chilling and maxing. In the car you spent all day waxing. Or if you like to use my voice and words and suggestions and tips and whatevers and random pop culture moments as a background while you're up and taking action and decluttering. You get to decide how you spend your time. I don't know, I did something and I was like, follow me, I'm delicious. So, here we go. What do we got going here? Yeah, maybe a Pennsylvania thing. Pacific time. Thank you, Painting of a Duck. Yeah, Pacific. Then why don't they call it Atlantic time? Atlantic to Pacific. Gee, the traffic is terrific. There we go, Nana Joe. Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays. There we go. So, yeah, Garen, isn't he wicked funny? Isn't he wicked funny? I love that. He's going to be in, actually, here's a random thing. He's going to be at the Milwaukee Irish Fest in August. That I'm tempted to go out and see him just to see him in person, you know. But yeah, you just make it so fun. Here's the deal, you guys. That's why I show up. I don't want to make things boring for you. My eyes roll to the back of my head and I slump over and fall asleep and like drool is coming out of my mouth when somebody's being all proper and official and not, you know, and has something important to say, but they're trying to be so serious and perfect. I love being able to share really good information in a way that makes it easy for it to just absorb, right? Like we talk about, okay, so a couple of things for the new people. A couple of things I like to talk about. Clutter. It's clutter weather, right? It's clutter. Is the three kind of layers of clutter. It's kind of like an archaeological dig, okay? Like Tutankhamun's King Tut's tomb. King Tut, right? Willie was a young man he never thought he'd see. It's good to be the king. But I digress. Okay? Surface clutter is on the surface. It's the stuff that's on your horizontal surfaces that basically isn't where it should be or where you want it to be. Okay? Yeah, it's sweater weather. Totally sweater weather around here. That's why I'm going to Palm Springs. I will probably bring a sweater because it will be so weird because I'm not used to it. But anyhow, surface clutter. Surface clutter is the stuff that's on surfaces that you don't want it to be there. For whatever reason it's there, no judgment. But what I want to offer is that's the first layer of clutter. So that is the perfect layer of clutter I will share with you. That if you want to declutter while I'm doing this TikTok live for the next 45 minutes or so, that is a really good layer of clutter because you already know this where a lot of that stuff should go. It's just not there yet. So you don't have to have a lot of internal monologue and dialogue really about where that stuff goes. Now the next layer down is stored clutter. Stored clutter this is how I remember it, okay? It rhymes with doors and drawers. Stored, doors, drawers. So think about your stuff that you have in drawers of like your bureau or your kitchen or your workbench or your craft room or your bathroom, anywhere you have a drawer that you store things in, or a door. A room has a door, you can shut it. A closet has a door. A cabinet has a door. Stored clutter is where you have put some stuff. Now, opening up any drawer, you can know whether it's a junk drawer or a more organized, not cluttered drawer. Okay? So, stored clutter is the next layer down. That will require some internal thinking from yourself. And the last and deepest, but probably most precious, much like King Tut's tomb, layer of clutter is sentimental clutter. Surface, stored, sentimental. Now, sometimes your sentimental stuff can be on the surface and sometimes it can be stored. But sentimental stuff, sentimental clutter, is the stuff that you have in your house that tells you a story. Okay? It tells you a story, and a story is just words. Once upon a time. You know, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Call me Ishmael. Words are a story, but words that make you feel a feeling is a story. That feeling either inspires you to take action or inspires you to not take action. Okay? So, surface, stored, sentimental. Now, sentimental is the tougher stuff. It's the deeper things. So if you don't have your muscles built up from lifting the lighter weights of these two levels, do not hurt yourself by trying to lift a weight that's currently out of your weight category. This is what happens to me when I go to my strength training classes and I inadvertently lift something and I think I can do it, but I haven't done it, and then I end up hurting for a while. So I say this, if that's the case, just back off. You know you have some surface clutter. You can work on that. You know you have some stored stuff that isn't like the heartbreaking, family photos and whatever. You've got stuff that's stored that you're like, I don't even know what it is. So start with those two layers and build up your decluttering skill, and just like a muscle. By using it, by showing up, by doing a little bit at a time. Now, Painting of a Duck says, I've gotten off the decluttering train. All aboard! Woohoo! Everybody all aboard. I think it's a party train. Nickels and dimes. Party train. That'd be good. You've gotten off the decluttering train this past month or so because you've been so busy. Yes, life happens. But you can get back on the train anytime you like. And I want to say this. Instead of being a train, think of it as a road trip that you're driving on. That maybe you pulled over to the side of the road and you didn't declutter for a while because you were on your decluttering journey because you were doing other things. You can get back behind the wheel and start driving towards your destination decluttered. I'm totally making up a jingle right there. Your destination decluttered at any point. Okay? You are in control of when you declutter and when you don't declutter. When you rake and when you shovel. You are in decide. Now, I love this because this is really an important thing to think about. Nana Joe used to think, I just need a bigger house. Now she says, nope. She says, I have, and this is what they would call in the life coaching biz, like a mindset shift. Changing your mind, looking at something, the same thing from a different perspective. It's not that I need a bigger house. It's that I have too much stuff for the house I have. Notice, it isn't getting more storage. It's getting curious about what you have and deciding, do I want all this stuff? Now, maybe Nana Joe goes through every single item in her house and decides and feels good about keeping all of it. Well, then, yeah, then maybe you want to move into a bigger house so you have a better place. But I can pretty much guarantee that every single one of us, including myself, has some stuff in our house that we don't want. Either we've had it for years or it came in yesterday or anywhere in between. Okay? Now, Joy says, living in a fixer-upper and have no shelves or cabinets right now, so it's maddening. Now, that to me is a storage problem. Luckily, problems. I used to not use the word problem, but one of the things I like about using the word problem is that there's an opposite to that, which is a solution. It's like a math problem has a solution. So first of all, Joy, one of the things you can remind yourself of, tell yourself the story that makes you feel better, is living in a fixer-upper is temporary. That the fixer-upper portion of where you live is temporary. So that might make it easier for you to live where things are temporarily not on shelves or in cabinets. Now, I could show you right out here, but the last time I tried to move my phone when I did a TikTok live, I dropped it and I almost lost the connection. Right outside this door here are multiple pieces of basement shelving. I'm not in the basement. I'm in the main living area of our house. But we are getting work done on the basement floor. And in order to do that, we need to move everything from the basement up to the living space. I don't lose my shit when I see that stuff because I know it's just temporary. I do not allow it to activate my nervous system because it's temporary. So I want everybody to even just think of, don't give your clutter the power to make you lose your shit. To go, you know what that is. No, this is just temporary and I can do something about it. Now, if you're upping, maybe you can't do something about it right away, but you can do something maybe to make it better than it is now. Listen to your heart. Listen to your answers. What could I do to make that one section that's been bugging me a little bit better? Notice that one section a little bit better, chunking it down. Hope that helps. Now, here we go. Now notice painting of a duck. I go up and down. It's a struggle. Yeah, and up and down is like a roller coaster ride. I'm not a big fan of the roller coaster. No, that's not the kind of, it makes me want to throw up. I am more of the up and down, more like the merry-go-round. So I aspire to teach you all how to live more merry-go-round and less roller coaster. Roller coaster is not doing anything and then letting it pile up and then getting to the top of the pile and then having to knock it down and then not doing anything and it piles up again and you have to go down again. Roller coaster. Decluttering and chunking it down, slowing it down, calming down, doing a little bit at a time is different. Sure, things are going to pile up temporarily, but I'm not going to wait until I get there to start doing something. I'm going to do something about it as I notice it's starting to pile up. Piles up a little bit, knock down the little pile. Piles up a little bit, knock down the little pile. Piles up a little bit, knock down the little pile. I'm on a merry-go-round. And I say that because notice a merry-go-round goes around and around. Merry-go-round in dreams on a carousel, right? There are things that you will do in your home over and over and over again. When you know that, please don't allow those repeated tasks to drain you of your energy that you could use having fun. So don't hate the routine things in your house. Make them routine. Turn down the drama. I hate doing laundry. You're going to be doing laundry for the rest of your life. That means if you hate it, you're going to be in a hate mode for a wicked lot of your life. Now you can choose to do that, or You can drain the drama out of the laundry. Like you drain the water out of your washing machine. You know? You have a choice. Now, Tracy at the Creators Network says it's about taking control of the kind of life you want. Yeah, but sometimes that can feel impossible. I prefer to think of just noticing, get curious about the life you want, and just kind of nudge up to it. How can I get a little bit closer to that? You maybe not kicking ass and taking names, right? That's freaking Elon Musk talking. Taking control. No, you know what you do? You get curious. What about that life that I like? There's plenty of things that I see in places that I do like that I don't, I don't like the fact that if I lived in Palm Springs, it would be 120 degrees in the summer. I don't like that. But I do like it when it's March and April and May and it's warmer. All right. So, notice this stuff. It is a slow process, Joy. Yeah, broken down house, contractor left it broken down, it fell apart. Yeah. You guys, get used to slow. Slow is also judgy. Slow and fast and quickly and whatever. Those are judgment words. You move through the world at a pace that works for you and hopefully doesn't inconvenience anybody. Like if you're driving on the road 20 miles an hour in a 55 zone, you're going to inconvenience some people. Get used to working at a pace that works for you. And don't think of it as slow or fast. Think of it like Goldilocks, just right for me. Okay? Yeah. And Anne, you're noticing something about yourself. I love that. Discovering, realizing, understanding, aha moment. I'm not a bad housekeeper. I don't have a dirty house. Yes, house cleaning is different from house decluttering. You know this because you can hire somebody who knows how to clean a house, and they will clean, but they will just surface clean. They do not go into your stored clutter or your sentimental clutter because they can't. Yeah. Decluttering, let me hit you with this one. Oh, I hit you with this one. Bonk. No. Let me offer this to you as something on a tray that you can choose to talk about, think about, whatever. Decluttering is decision making, is deciding. Noticing an item or a collection of items, but just one item. Let's chunk it down. What is this? Do I want it anymore? Can I live without it? And answering those questions in a way that aligns with who you are and who you want to be, and then taking the action to get yourself there. Okay? Yeah. Damn it, Donna is changing the words in her head about the laundry. Yes, shifting your words. Instead of I have to, swap it out. Copy and replace. I get to. I get to do my laundry in my house on one level. I don't have to go walk down the basement to do my laundry. I don't have to go to a laundromat. I get to declutter my home. I get to declutter my home because I have an abundance. I have too much good stuff in my house. I have too much. And isn't it interesting that we're at a time in our lives, and it's okay, this is not a judgment, this is an observation, where we thought too much would feel great, and we realize it's not giving us what we thought it would. Okay? Think about Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Jeff Bezos. They have more than enough money on the frickin' planet, and they are unhappy little men. You know that because they keep on trying to buy bigger and bigger and bigger things. They're trying to go out into space. They're going out into space and spending money to try to make themselves happy. They are not happy people. You know when you're going to be happy? When you realize you have all you need right in here, and that you have an abundance that you can share with people, that you can help other people. If I had Elon Musk money, there would not be a hungry child on the planet. There would not be an unhoused person on the planet. Even people who are jerks, I would build them a house. If I had all that money, yeah, I would do that. So notice what you do with your money and your time and your energy and your abundance. Right now, Elon Musk and those guys have an abundance of money, but they have a lack of happiness in their life. They have an empty hole in their soul that they're realizing that money does not fill. So I say to you, if you are a cluttered person, you have too much stuff. You have an abundance of stuff. You can practice being the kind of person you want to be on the planet by noticing what stuff no longer serves you, and that you can share it with somebody else who might really be able to want to use it. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, farm girl, right on. Happy people don't try to hurt people. No, they don't. They go to help people. Me, I'm happy. I'm helping people. I'm not trying to hurt somebody else. You know? Yeah, Cat Mama would be building sanctuaries for birds, abused and abandoned cats and dogs. You know? So I just use these people. You know what? They're the people that come to mind. And I stand by that. So I say to you, never mind them. How about you? Is your abundance making you feel good? Do you love all your stuff and revel in how your house is set up? If the answer is yes, yay for you. Go, good on ya. You know? But if your abundance is not giving you that, you know, that feeling of goodness that you thought it would, maybe it's time to look at what gives you that good feeling. You know? And user 70210777624, I'm going to shut you down right now because I'm the one who made this political. And this is my forum. This is me. Okay? So I just offer to you, I will shut you down. We can talk like civilized people. I am offering to you that there are people that have too much in the world that are unhappy. There are people who don't have enough that are unhappy. But I'm here to talk to you about you and your clutter. If you don't like how things are going here, ease on down the road. Okay? And I will talk probably about religion, and I will probably talk about God and politics, because it is part of us. It would be insincere of me to pretend that clutter had nothing to do with what's going on in the outside world. Okay? So I will shut you down like nobody's business, because this is my house, not yours. Okay? Now, yep. All right, bye, Melissa. What is that? Goodbye, Felicia or somebody? All right? I am a loving person, but you do not mess with my people. And respect the boundaries. Okay? Now that we got that out of the way, notice, you can be a loving person, but you can also have your boundaries and still want to be there for people. You know, I am not here to get in arguments with people. I am here to share some useful skills that hopefully will make you feel better so you do better in the world. Okay? I know that when I have felt worse in my life, I have done worse. I have been shitty to people. I have cut people off in traffic. I have yelled at them. I've gotten into arguments because I was unhappy on the inside. Okay? When I feel better, I do better. And it's not about just being yippee skippy and whatever. It's so when you feel good and you realize that you come from a place of okayness. There are so many people in the world who are doing worse than us. That's not to make you feel bad. That's to inspire you to take action. It's the age-old generational thing that probably will not be solved, maybe ever, which is the fight between fear and love and good and evil and all that. But what I will say to you right now is we are all living through a certain part of history. I didn't think for a while there that my life would be in any kind of chapter in history book, but man, oh Manischewitz, is it going to be? So I say to you, in these times, who do you want to show up to be? You know? Who do you show up to be? And here's the thing, you know? Tracy is saying, I am dirt poor, but I am working on it too. Yeah, no, then you're not dirt poor. Dirt poor is a concept. There are people that are rich in money and poor in heart. And I would rather hang out with people that are rich in heart and poor on money any day. Because you can make money, but I don't know if you can change anybody's heart before, So I offer this to you. I know we're getting deep, but this is part of it. Clutter is too much of stuff that isn't making you feel good. Clutter is the stuff that makes you feel heavy in your heart. I have too much stuff. I'm being weighed down. It's notice my body is going like this, But when you realize you can do something to change that feeling, notice, I don't have to stay slumped over. Except it does feel good on my shoulder right now. So pardon me as I stretch. Everybody, take a stretch break, all right? It helps. It helps. When you feel better, you do better. It's as simple as that. But people benefit from when you don't feel good. I don't benefit from when you don't feel good. I can hang around with a bunch of people who don't feel good. That ain't fun, right? Take a stretch break. Drink some water. What can you do to make yourself feel better right now? It doesn't mean going out and buying supplements and whatever. Seriously, drink some water, stretch your body. Pay attention to you. So much wisdom is in you. Somebody said, don't talk about religion. I'll talk about religion, and I'm not even religious. But I know that there are religions out there who say that, like, God is inside of you. You've got the music in you. So many answers are in you. If you just quiet down the fear and the hate, and you start to listen to your heart, listen to yourself on the inside. And when you do that, you may notice there are two voices. Somebody who's being fearful, shh. But when you quiet down the fear, the other voice appears. And that is God. I call it the universe because I grew up Catholic and I have issues with that. I call it your soul, spirit. You could call it Carl for whatever you want. Mary. Your co-pilot. I like to call it my co-pilot. That voice inside me that says, hey, you're pretty darn good. I really dig what you're doing here. Where do you want to go? What kind of fun do you want to get into? It's like your BFF on a road trip. Okay? And that doesn't cost a thing. J-Lo said love doesn't cost a thing or something. I don't know. But seriously, quieting down the naysayers, listening to yourself and your love in you and acting accordingly will change the world in myriad positive ways. Okay? Yeah. There we go. I love it. Hannah said, wait, I get to check off another water off of the chart I gifted you? Yes. Habit tracker, people. Oh, see, notice I haven't even done mine and it's upside down. I got to finish mine from yesterday. I did pretty good. I am also going to bring this with me when I am in California because today, in about 20 minutes, I'm going to be signing off. And just so you know, if we met just here right now on TikTok, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and I occasionally show up on TikTok. I am more often on YouTube at Destination Decluttered, and I have a website and a mailing list. All that stuff is for free. But I don't know the next time you're going to see me on TikTok. I do know for a stone cold fact that this Saturday, people who signed up for the declutter parties that I do are going to, I'll see you on Saturday. And then on Monday, I will be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. I will be doing hour-long YouTube lives just like this one. Okay? So if you like this kind of thing, consider following my YouTube channel and tuning in when I do one of those lives. They are scheduled, and the people who are on my mailing list have access to the schedule. So if you want access to the schedule, you get on the mailing list. And how you do that is going to destinationdecluttered.com is my website. And there's a little thing that says sign up, put your mailing list here, wicked easy. Sign up for that, and then you get access to a page that gives you a free blank habit tracker to help you track your habits. Yeah, Joy says, I keep forgetting about the need to download a habit tracker. Write it down, and then in 19 minutes, go do that, okay? And thank you, German Maid. Yes, you get it when you sign up for the mailing list at destinationdecluttered.com. Yeah, and Leslie M. is giving some encouragement. This is what we do here. YouTube is very easy to join. I'm no techie, and I did it, so I know you can. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, and Lupe, all you need is love. Ba-ba-da-da-da. You know? I'm all about the Beatles. I am. There we go. All right. So, what do we got things? Yeah, so notice Cat Mama is offering. I love this. My mom wouldn't let me touch anything. But once she became aware, started cleaning up. Okay, so notice when you're trying to help somebody else declutter, you have to work within the confines of what they will allow you to do, or it's just going to be a fool's errand. It's going to be frustrating on both ends. Okay? This is going to sound harsh, but sometimes it's easier to declutter when the person is no longer there. Okay? Like, I helped my aging mother declutter over the weekend. I drove up to Massachusetts from Pennsylvania, and I spent like 6 hours in her house. No, it felt like 6 hours. And we started going through some shoes. And it was really almost not torturous, but she was not eager. She said she wanted to do it, but then she still wanted to keep a lot of stuff. Now, I am cool with my mother keeping anything she wants, and then when she dies, we'll deal with it. And I say that as much to her. But she still feels like she should be, she can't enjoy her time. So she always is feeling, oh, I should be doing so, I should. And I'm just like, you should be laying on the beach with a margarita and a book. And we'll deal with this house when you die. But she has an internal judgment, because she grew up Catholic, at Catholic school. No, you always have to be busy. You can't do that. You can't enjoy yourself. Enjoying yourself is for after you're dead. So, notice that we all have thoughts in our heads, words in our heads. You know? Now, Anne, yeah, exactly. Many of us are in that position. Now, Anne, you were not on the YouTube live, so I mentioned this. And I was also decluttering my mother's house for generations of stuff when I was there too. I was up in the attic, and I found things from generations ago. My dad saved things from his previous generation. We are different. We are the game changers. And I don't know how old you are, but to me, you can be, I will label you honorary Gen X, even if you're not. I am Gen X, and I am changing the course of clutter in my family and in people's lives. You can do the same. You don't have to help anybody else but yourself. But when you help yourself and you get rid of what you don't want, you're also helping the current generations and the future generations. But notice, it's hard when somebody doesn't allow you to do something. You can do something different. Okay? Yeah. So I highly recommend this. Okay, Hannah and Anne and Painting of a Duck and anybody else. What I want to offer to you is practice and get good at decluttering by concentrating on your own stuff first. Now, I say this strategically because it's always easier to see what's crap and what's, oh, get rid of that, it's fine. It's so much easier to make a decision when your heart isn't in it, when it's somebody else's stuff. Even when it's somebody else's stuff, your heart can be in it. But I say learn the lesson from yourself. And what you may find is that it makes it easier for you to have patience with and declutter with somebody else. Start with yourself first. Practice getting good at it before you test out your skills on somebody else. Okay? So, Nana Joe's a Gen Xer. I'm a Gen Xer. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Yeah. Brain Girl says my dad is a hoarder and can't get rid of stuff. I told him to stop worrying about it, and I take it. But notice, he hoarded to try to make himself feel better, and it's not working. It's making him worry. There we go. Now, everybody can be who they are. What I just offer is I do identify with Gen X in many ways. So I say we are whoever it is, whoever's showing up on this TikTok right now, you are saying, I don't like how things have been and I want to do something different for myself now and in the future. So you're a game changer no matter how old you are. You are wanting to change the game with stuff in your house. Your stuff on somebody else. Okay. Now here's a fun thing. I love this. See, I like to have conversations and different sense of opinion. So Anne says, I'd like to disagree on starting on my own stuff first. I'm ready to have my own stuff. It sparks me joy. Good. That's not clutter then. Clutter is the stuff that's in your home that does not spark joy. So I say, in your own home, take inventory. Do the things, and these are the three things that I think of when I think of, does it kind of spark joy for me? I know that's Marie Kondo. Does it look good to me? Does it function well for me? And if it looks good and functions well for me, it usually makes me feel good. And when I look around my house, and I've been doing this for a while, I will say 95% of what I have, if not more, fits that bill. But there is still that 5% that I'm like, I don't know. That's the clutter. So do not worry, Anne, if you're thinking that I'm saying get rid of your good stuff. What I'm saying is get clarity on what you have. Does it bring you joy? And if everything in your house does bring you joy, what I have started to do, so I will just offer this to you, is not wanting to leave this quantity of items for somebody else to deal with. I'm doing two things. One is, I am saying to myself right now, I am looking at quantity and quality. If everything is something I love, do I need that number of items to give me joy? Or how does it feel if I remove this item? Am I still feeling good if this item is removed and I can maybe share it with somebody else? And I try that out. If it doesn't feel good, if I want to keep it, that's also fine. But the other thing I'm doing too is I'm making a clear plan with the next generations. I am going to share with them the sentimental things that tell a story of our family, so we're not wondering who the hell these people are. I am also being very clear about, please, when I die, open up the doors to this house and let people come in and grab whatever they want. I don't care about it. I don't want them to feel burdened by my items. I want them to feel that they can give it all away and it doesn't matter. With the exception of a number of few kind of very small family items. Okay? I hope that clarifies where I'm coming from. Okay? Now, I need a room for me and my family now. We need to move into the present. Yeah, okay, so create a room. Create a safe space. You know? Yeah. Here's the funny thing, Star Queen. You're saying Mom must be grateful for a declutter queen in the family. We all need one. Be careful what you wish for. Because I have to move at a pace that I could move through that house, as she would say, like a dose of salts. She is at a different level. Prior, when I wanted her to move more quickly, more like my pace, it was frustrating. Now I know I have to slow down and meet her where she's at. I try to tell her, it doesn't matter. You don't need to declutter. I will deal with this when you're gone. Please just enjoy your life while you have it. But that's only my one voice right now in the present. She has decades worth of unhelpful backseat drivers telling her, no, that's not true. That's not true. You can't enjoy yourself. Yep. Alrighty. Nana Joe, notice your thing about the Avon bottles. Yeah. So a lot of people from our generations have stuff that they cared about that somebody else decluttered without their permission. My mom did that. She used to say, oh yeah, the toys are up in the attic. We went up in the attic. And unlike Aerosmith, the toys were not in the attic. Okay? So notice how it feels when somebody else makes a decision about your stuff. Okay? So heal that trauma. It wasn't really about the bottles. It was about somebody doing something without allowing you a say in it. It was taking away your rights and your voice about what you keep in your home and what you get away. You know? Now, what I say, trust me, I'm dealing with so much of my son's stuff. He passed on March 5th. Yeah, Patty. This is going to happen. My heart goes out to you. It really does. Because trying to process grief and not feeling good and try to deal with clutter is a tough situation. What I offer to you is sometimes there is an external deadline. Other times there are not. Do not rush yourself through this process unless you're required to by something that you cannot change. And take a look at what you think you can't change, and maybe you can change it. Okay? This is why I show up right now in your life, is helping you, kind of that Swedish death cleaning lady, it's kind of like that, is helping you declutter when you're feeling okay. It is easier to declutter when you feel good. When you are in active, heart-wrenching, raw, animal grief over the death of somebody you love, that is the hardest thing ever to feel. It's hard to do damn anything when you're feeling that. But feeling that is something that you can't, that's going to happen. So take care of yourself. Heal yourself, and maybe we can find a way that you can do something different so you can heal yourself when you're feeling a little bit better. That you can go through a little bit of your son's stuff and you can baby steps your way into it. Okay? So notice that. Notice that. Hugs. Look what we have here. We have a supportive group here. Okay? This is how we do it. And I love it. Powder Reamer says, I love all the references to 80s music. My brain functions the same way. Yeah. It's a connection. You know that song. This is how we do it. You're not alone. You know, words and music connect us. They can also divide us, but I choose to connect with people who want to be connected. I do not waste any time on people who want to divide. Fuck that. Okay? So, there we go. Give yourself grace. Yeah, God give me, grace of my heart. Give yourself grace. It is one of the hardest things you will ever do is deal with the death of a loved one. So take care of yourself, okay? And here's a funny thing, and this is not to, but I'm Irish, so I tend to joke in times of sadness. Sweet Rain Cynthia just gave this little icon that's supposed to be two people hugging, and I saw a TikTok about this that I, for the longest time, thought that was an old-fashioned movie camera. And somebody else did too. Yeah. Okay. So Amy, let me ask you this. My sisters and I are scared. Notice that word. Scared about going through my mother's house after she passes, and you'd rather do it now. And Cat Mama says, because she knows what she's talking about, if your mother will allow you to do it. Okay? If your mother will allow you to do it. It is still her house, and here's the thing. Is respect. Respect people's boundaries and autonomy. Unless your mother is in a dangerous situation where the condition of her house could injure her or collapse around her, see where she is at. Meet her where she's at and ask her what she's comfortable with you guys helping her with. Okay? Leslie's offering, or Leslie rather, I thought that in the future I would hate doing my mom's house, but my sisters and I spent time there reminiscing. Friday night, it was late, I was walking you home. We got down to the gate and I was dreaming of tonight. Right? It was a good process, actually. We laughed, we cried. Yeah. So I would get curious. And I always say, get curious of what the fear is. What are you afraid of that might happen? What are you afraid might happen if you go through her house after she's gone? Is it the feelings? I don't know. But when you know what you are afraid of, then you can get clarity on that. Would it turn out right? Exactly. I listened to AM and FM radio. I'm Gen X. Leslie's saying it was actually a good process to go through it with her sisters. Now, you may get overwhelmed. You may get tired. You will get bitchy at each other. You will need to take breaks. You will need to take showers. You will need to get away from it when you're decluttering. That's all stuff you can learn by going through your own stuff. You know? There we go. Hannah says, you are so my sister, and that's a good thing. Wish she lived closer. You know what the neat thing is you could do the same thing on a Zoom call, on a, what do you call that, FaceTime, on something with your sister. You could declutter. You could reminiscing. You could be like, okay, I'm up in the attic. Oh, hey, look what I found. I've done this with my sisters, is I have sent pictures of things. I haven't done it in real time because a lot of decluttering is fairly monotonous. It's categorizing and noticing and things like that. Sharing the good stuff, though, can be a bright spot. Yeah. Yeah. It could be more emotional after. Cat Mama is glad you started earlier because your mom ended up having dementia. Yeah. So dementia gets her brain, gets all of our brains. We could get dementia, you guys. So start decluttering while you remember the stories behind things. Start your decluttering. Continue your decluttering while you still have your faculties. Okay? There we go. A little scared now. Okay, go. Because some expired meds, supplements, and food. Okay. This is a thing where, trust me, asking permission, but then also squirreling away, spiriting away is a phrase we would use in our house. Something that could be dangerous to your mother's health might be a good thing. You're doing it with love in your heart, so your mom doesn't eat the botulism soup. So your mom doesn't, try to use the expired meds and they don't work. If you can have a conversation with her about that, that's always the best thing. Hold on, TikTok is reminding me I have 2 minutes, and I am going to honor that 2 minutes. But just notice, everybody's situation is different, and sometimes the situation is different from day to day. That's why it's important to have a system, but be flexible. That's why it's important to approach this as a human and not a machine and a robot. Everything that's expired has to leave. Yeah, you could create some rifts when you try to do that for people who grow up without a lot of food. So, yeah, notice where you might be able to spot and notice that this is kind of like a salesy thing, but I say this, I call my coaching Destination Decluttered because I want you to remind yourself, if I'm going to take this journey of decluttering, what's in it for me? So present the decluttering of the expired meds or foods to your mom as this is good for you because the food will taste better when it's not expired. This is good for you because you won't get sick. This is good for you because when you go to use that medication, it will actually work and not have turned into a placebo. Okay? So notice, again, I've got a minute and I'm going to wrap it up. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, Destination Decluttered. Find me on the internet at destinationdecluttered.com. I have a free website. The website's free. I have a free email mailing list that I just use to keep in touch with my people to let them know when I'm offering some good stuff. Some of it's paid, much of it is not. If you're interested, destinationdecluttered.com. Sign up for the mailing list. When you're on the mailing list, you will know the schedule. I call it the TV guide of when I show up and do lives. I don't know the next time I'm going to be on TikTok, but I'm showing up for the people who may never have heard of me before. The people who have and are on the mailing list know that I'm on YouTube all next week, an hour long every day, decluttering parties on the weekends, having some fun. Okay? Farm Girl, I love that you've looked at the April dates, and if they don't work for you, that's okay. I don't even know what the May ones will be. I hope they do work for you. If the ones I do in May, let me know what works for you and we'll try to figure something out. Okay? So this is what it's all about, Charlie Brown. Okay? It really is. About cluing into what's making you feel bad and changing it. cluing into what makes you feel better and doing more of it. And then when you feel better and you're feeling more whole and you're not feeling as empty, realizing the abundance you have, and then maybe helping other people with it. But it starts with you, okay? I'm signing off now. I'll see some of you on Saturday the 19th, which is in a few days, I've got 2 of the declutter parties. Buy your tickets now. Next week is going to be YouTube Lives. I will be on a Pacific Coast schedule, but the schedule shows that, okay? So it's been a pleasure to meet the new people. Just know that there's help out there. I'm just part of the help to help you with this stuff, and I hope you enjoyed our time together, and I will tune in from Palm Springs, okay? Not on TikTok, though, just on YouTube, all right?